Hey everyone, welcome to Princess of Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we are here with the Harley Quinn Valentine special. And I apologize for being so late to this, because Valentine's week we had the movie special, so no other reactions, and then last week I honestly just forgot. If I'm being completely honest, I forgot about it. It wasn't on my mind, and that's on me. Completely on me. I apologize. Not really anything I can do about it now, though. So we're getting to it now, and I haven't really heard anyone talking about this since it first came out, and I don't know whether or not that's a good thing or not. But I'm also concerned because the last season I was not a fan of. You guys may remember that, and I know some of you were trying to argue that with me in the comments of those videos and trying to explain why you actually thought it was okay or good with the choices they were making and all, but I'm not going to start that whole conversation here again. We'll just keep it to I still stand by my statements and all. I still didn't like it. Just gonna have to accept that I was not a fan of it. There are a couple things I enjoyed, but as a whole, it really, really took a nosedive for me compared to the previous seasons. But hopefully this Valentine special is much better. I assume this is canon to the rest of the series, like it's not just some like non-canon like little spin-off project. The question is, when does it take place? Does it take place after the most recent season? Because I'm just wondering like how it compares to like the fact that Harley is now with the Bat family and everything. There's a lot of questions in regard to that. I guess we'll find out. I do know other characters appear in this too. Like characters other than just what we're used to with this series. It like brings in a lot of cameos and whatnot, basically. I do know about that. I know about, I think, 2 of them that appear in this. But I won't say for the moment now. Just in case anyone is watching this blind with me. And that's about all I know. I don't know what the actual plot of it is, but I'm surprised that it's double length. Like, yeah, there's a lot of specials for shows that can be double length or whatnot, but I wasn't expecting that. I don't entirely think that's necessary. Like, why do we need it to be double length? Like, what's the plot going to be that's going to require that? I don't know. We'll see. It just, I don't know, it just feels weird to me. I just don't feel like it needs to be double length for a Valentine special. Like, I get that Harley and Ivy's love is a notable point of the series, especially right now, but still. I guess we'll see. But yeah, I'm just hoping that this is much more on the level of the first couple seasons rather than the most recent. I don't want to be disappointed again. I really don't. But we'll see. So, all of that being said, let's just get this going and hope for the best. So, when the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black, then it fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the special. So, that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So I went back and listened to it. It's like, yeah, that is 100% Janet Varney. It's like, I didn't realize while watching it. It's like, it didn't cross my mind that Janet Varney would be Mara there. It's like, okay. But yeah, it's like listening to it, it's like, oh yeah, it's very clearly her. Well, definitely a better Mara than the bitch. who I will not name because she doesn't deserve the attention. But this was good. It was not great. It was not the best. Harley would be upset at that. But it wasn't. It was better than the recent season, though. I will give it that. It was better than literally anything in the most recent season. But there's one notable part of it that just annoyed the shit out of me, and you know from the reaction what that was. If you didn't watch the reaction or watching this, you probably shouldn't be, but I mean, if you are, I mean, all the power to you. I hated the Clayface part of this. Like, actively hated it. I mentioned in the reaction it reminded me of, like, when there's, like, the little Clayface hand that Jim Gordon connected to and everything. I hated that. It was so unlikably annoying. Like, Clayface can be really funny at parts. But that entire thing with the Clayface hand and everything was so fucking annoying and unenjoyable. And this was basically just that pumped up to 11. It was so fucking stupid. Like, not even a good kind of stupid, to where it's like, oh, it's dumb as hell, but it's funny, it's entertaining. No, it wasn't funny or entertaining. It was fucking dumb. It was a notable part of this special, too, and that's why it bothers me so much. If it was just a little one-off thing, it wouldn't be an issue. But the fact that it was one of the main storylines of this special, that's what bothered me. It's like, it was so fucking dumb. It's like, I think the idea behind it is supposed to be the idea of self-love, and that you can always, like, love yourself and everything, even if you don't have anyone else in your life. And that idea is fine. In fact, hell, that idea is great. The execution is terrible and weird and annoying, and I hate it. I hate it. Actively. It's not like it's something that, like, pisses me off or anything, but it just is so fucking annoying and so fucking unenjoyable that it did very much hurt this special for me. It didn't, like, kill it altogether. There was still a lot to love. For example, Bane's storyline was fucking amazing. Like, this is probably the best Bane has been in the series. Not only in terms of humor, but actually in terms of, like, kind of cute. Like, not just, like, Bane being kind of cute, but the storyline in general. Bane, like, accidentally meeting this lady Betty and kind of being roped into this BDSM, not really a club. That was my initial thought, but like a BDSM act. I don't know what the right word would be there. But getting roped into that, and then actually kind of falling in love, and it's actually really genuinely cute. And the fact that he wants to, like, you know, be bigger to properly pleasure her and everything, it's like, that's actually really fucking cute. What the hell? Like, you would think it would be annoying because the entire tiny dick joke and all is stupid. It really is usually just an absolutely stupid, dumb joke that isn't funny. And that part of his storyline wasn't funny. It was just, he wanted to be able to give Betty a good night for Valentine's Day. He wanted to be able to pleasure her. He felt insecure about himself because he didn't feel like he would be able to give her what she wanted. Because she clearly had this idea in her head that he was packing. and he genuinely just wanted to do it for her, and things went out of control. Also, Betty is smoking hot. Like, I'm sorry, but I just had to say that. She is thick and gorgeous. Like, I don't know if she's based on a character from the comics. There's a lot of comic characters named Betty, so it's hard to say. But it's like, she is just genuinely really gorgeous, and honestly, I'm fucking happy for her and Bane. I actually really am happy for them. Like, yeah. The thing with Bane growing extra large because the potion he got from Etrigan, you're not supposed to use while he's like high with whatever that drug was or whatnot. It's like, so he ends up turning massive, and then Ivy's pheromones make him excessively horny. It's just like, it shouldn't be funny, but it actually was. And him fucking all the buildings and making them fall like Rampage style was somehow really fucking hilarious. I don't know. I think it's the way the buildings fell. I think that's what made it so goddamn funny. And it had a happy ending. His storyline had a happy ending. Him and Betty, like, got together. And although there was the question of how that would work with his still giant size, it's like, I'm sure you could find a way. Like, there's porn of that. There's porn of, like, massive size differences like that. And I'm not talking about this shit, like, with inhuman stretching out, let's put it. But there is ways things could be done, even if it's not normal, sex. But yeah, I'm just happy for them, nonetheless. I really am. I hope that actually continues into the next season. I would love to see that. We got Clock King and Riddler for a little bit in this, but that was a very, very minor thing. We saw that there was, a proposal, and they were going on a date for Valentine's Day and everything. It's like, yeah, there's just a little bit of things. And we even saw, like, Riddler didn't want to go to this thing with Clock King, but he was doing it because he loves Clock King, and he wanted to do that for him. And they're like, that's sweet. That's sweet. King Shark was briefly shown with that one female shark he was engaged to, set up with, basically, for their kingdom's sake. Wasn't kind of the entire point that he didn't like her? That they didn't really like each other? There was not really anything there? Am I misremembering something? Because I thought that was kind of the entire thing. It was an arranged marriage, and he didn't actually have any real feelings for her. I don't know. There are a lot of random cameos of just different couples, like, from DC Comics and stuff. And some really odd ones, too, like Killer Croc and Enchantress. Is that just because both of them were in the original 2016 Suicide Squad movie? Is that why they were put together? Because it's like, that's an odd combination. But it's like, hey, whatever. And of course, you have to mention the main storyline of Harley and Ivy. Harley wants to give Ivy the best Valentine's Day ever, but she doesn't feel like she is. She's feeling like it's just great, but not the best. And Harley, kind of being a perfectionist about that, tries to do every little thing to make it better. And it just ends up ruining shit. And the thing is, there's some good aspects to it, too. Like, she sets up the meal at Mama Macaroni, combining Ivy's favorite foods into something that's orgasmically good for her. Like Ivy was ready to have sex with those meatballs. Let's be honest here. She needed a moment, which I've had food that good, so I get it. But and then even like getting that CEO of like the oil company and setting it up so that Ivy would kill him and everything, which is like, yeah, Ivy would like that. We've seen that previously in the series. So it's like, yeah, that makes sense. And it's like she genuinely loved it. Even though it's not what she wanted originally, she genuinely did love it, that Harley did all that for her. And even though it was obviously enhanced, yeah, she very much enjoyed the excessive orgasm. Like, that was very, very much pleasurable to her. Because, of course it was. It was an orgasm. It's gonna be pleasurable. And she genuinely did have a good time, but the thing is, everything went out of control because the potion combined with Ivy's pheromones and caused everyone in the nearby area to get super horny and start fucking on the streets. But I like what Harley said. It's like, is it really a problem if everyone's just having consensual sex in the streets on Valentine's Day? And it's like, she has a point. It's like, yeah, they're consenting, even if it's brought on by Ivy's pheromones. It's still technically consensual. It's like, it's a question. It's certainly a question about like how consensual it was, considering the pheromones and everything. But it was shown that people have had outside of Bane had the ability to say no. Like, that was kind of shown with Clayface. Like, he was being able to keep away from his ass on his own will. And it's like they were keeping away from each other. The only reason they got combined in the end was because Bane stepped on them. They were actually doing fine with that, even if their love was strong and everything, and they wanted to be together because of the pheromones, especially because of the pheromones. It was technically before that, but especially when those came into play. But yeah, it's like they were even with the pheromones, they were still exercising that self-control, and that's impressive, and that shows that anyone could have done it. So they chose to engage in that. They chose to have sex. The thing is, we see that when they're affected by the pheromones, people aren't just like out of control, and we see that they have all of their mental faculties in place still. They're just excessively horny. But they can still think and they still understand. It's like any choices they make are still theirs. So it's one of those situations where it's like you do kind of question all of that, but it's like they were influenced to be extra horny, but they were still able to make informed decisions. So it's complicated. It is. But based on what we saw, based on what it showed us, it was still consensual from everything we could see. But yeah, like I said, this was good. It was enjoyable. It was fun. It definitely felt more natural than the last season did. And I liked it very much so. It had an issue here and there, and it wasn't like just perfect. But I enjoyed it. I had fun. I have no idea what I'm going to choose as a thumbnail because what I want to choose, I don't know if YouTube will allow. I want to choose a scene from when Harley and Ivy are in bed together, and it's like, you'll obviously know what the thumbnail is by the time you're seeing this, but it's like, I really want to, But at the same time, I don't know if YouTube would allow that because, you know, obvious reasons. Maybe if I can find a shot that's, like, not super, like, even with, like, all the censorship of the vines and everything, maybe I can find a shot that's not, like, super obvious about it to where it can still stay on. Because I feel like that's the best scene to use for a thumbnail for this. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Again, obviously you'll already know, but tell me in the comments below, what did you think of the Harley Quinn Valentine special? And for now, I'm Connie and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.